Hey, I see you're back for more and I appreciate that. So this is the second video on this channel. Thank y'all so much for the love on the first video. Thank y'all for the comments. Thank y'all for the likes. Thank y'all for, I'm lying, there's no comments on that video. But anyways, thank y'all for the subs. Thank y'all for just, watching it and kicking it. So in this video, I'm kind of just gonna talk about 3 things that has changed my life. It's not the deepest things, but some of them are impactful to what has happened to me in my life. The first one I'm just gonna throw out there is 1, realizing that failure is not the end, and 2, my perception of women has changed. Ladies, I'm not about to get on here and start some down with the no. I am literally gonna talk about how I used to think about women and how I perceive women now. Okay, and then third is going to be the commitments to the gym and how that has changed my life. So in the first part, it's pretty simple. I had to realize that in order to be successful, you're going to have to fail. I think it's close to impossible to become successful off your first try. Some people have, and they're extremely lucky. And they will tell you that they worked very hard, which I don't doubt they did, but there was a giant amount of luck involved in that too. If you're sitting here and you're thinking about trying something new, go ahead and do it. All right? Because failure only means you tried, and trying only means you learned something new. Because that's all that I kept learning. Every time I took an L, I learned something about what I attempted, how to attempt it differently, and what to do the next time you're in that same situation. You gain wisdom and experience from trying. Now, if you never try, you become a what if. What if I had taken that opportunity? What if I had tried that thing I thought about? What if I showed people what I had inside my mind? Sorry, I'm still a little bit sick here, so if you hear me sniffling and so on, I apologize. Let me get the mic a little bit closer because it's been cutting out when I'm recording, and I'm tired of that. In fact, this is the 3rd time now I have attempted to record this video subject because it just kept messing up. I don't know if that meant I was supposed to make it or I'm not supposed to make it, but we're here making it, right? And that's right there showing you just how many times a person can fail before you end up seeing the finished product, which is right now. Hopefully after recording this one is actually good enough for me to get it out there, because the last one, the mic was a little bit off, the voice capture was off, and I realized there was some desyncing going on. The first subject, I kind of ranted for a long time, and then when I went to go edit it, I saw all the problems that were happening. So that's just another example of how failure has changed my life, because here I am recording this video. It's 4 a.m. in the morning, actually. You know how those people be getting up, I start my morning at 4 a.m. just to get ahead, just so I can be one of the motivational speakers. Nah, honestly, I'm sick right now, so I'm up anyways. So I said, hey, let me go ahead and make this video, and here you guys are watching this video right now. All right, so 2. Now, ladies, this is where I need you to listen to me, and listen to me good. I still love women. You guys smell good, look nice, the energy is great when it's there. All right, this ain't me saying I dislike y'all. This is not that. I'm just talking about how my perception has changed. So when I was younger, I thought women could do no wrong. I thought women were angels and there were no bad ones. And if anything bad has ever happened, believe her first and never ask questions. Until I was in a situation where I looked back and I was like, hey, I'm not a bad person. What's happening here? And it's pretty simple. In my past, I stream. Some of you guys know this already. And I decided to date another streamer. Ooh, I shouldn't have done that now. And during that relationship, a lot of things happened. And I'm not going to get on here and bash her because I got love for you. And I'm never going to come out here and say you're this or you're that or anything like that. I'm going to talk about my experience and what I learned. So in the eyes of some people, if my friends are watching it, they might disagree. She's a very attractive young lady, okay? And I had to learn a valuable lesson that at the end of your relationship, Some people are more inclined to believe the person they have higher attraction value towards. And at the end of my relationship, there was a lot of things that I heard about myself that I couldn't believe. So for example, I was a manipulator. I was controlling. I was cocky. And a bunch of other things that I could list. And that kind of hit me in the core because it put me through a questioning cycle of questioning who I was and was I these things. And once again, big shout out to my friends who were there that, told me the honest truth. They told me, hey, sometimes, you can be this way and sometimes you can be that way, but you're none of those things. So shout out to y'all. Y'all know who y'all are. If y'all watch that, big shout out to y'all. Y'all kept me grounded. So it changed my perception because I learned something very interesting. And you can disagree with me, and that's fine. That's what communication is for, and that's what conversation is for. You can go ahead and say the things I'm about to say are wrong, or you can give me insight on it. I'm always here to learn. What I think happens is when you date somebody, in the original starting point, when they're really liking you and they like the things about you, that manipulation that they say you do can fall under leading, teaching, and just trying to motivate them. Because at the end of the day, when you like somebody, you can almost see no wrong. Then when you stop liking them, you can twist anything they said to be in manipulation. I'm just going to throw an example out there. This didn't really happen in my relationship, but just an example. Say you're dating a young lady and you start to say, hey, babe, let's go shopping. I want to, upgrade, or I want to add some of my fashion taste to your catalog. And y'all go shopping and you're like, oh, I really like this. I like this on you. And maybe at first she didn't like it, right? This wasn't in her dress style. And eventually she comes around to it and is like, oh, I kind of like it now. Boom, boom, boom. I like how it looks. And now she's, dressing a little different, and you've showed her a new level of fashion. Now, when she leaves, or, relationships coming to the end, you were controlling the way she was dressing. You were manipulating the things she wore. And that's all it takes. All it takes is for her emotions to change and how she feels about you. And that same thing she once liked and found as a great attribute is now the same thing. That is why you're a manipulator. That is why you're controlling. And I had to start learning these things that, hey, you might be a certain way, but it doesn't mean everyone's going to view you that way or use the correct terminology when it comes down to it. And that's what I mean by my perception changed. Now it's changed how vulnerable I am with an individual, because some of my vulnerabilities got used against me. Some of my secrets that I told this person got put out there for everybody to see. That's fine. That's cool. But my perception, as I started at the beginning, was I thought women could do no wrong. And now I understand that everyone's human. Everyone has bad apples. There's always going to be bad apples in a bunch. But I try my best not to judge. But yes, it has definitely changed me. And that led to how I started to lock in the gym. This is why I'm in the gym now, because I realized I only have me. And no matter how the perception of others gets placed upon me, I know the true me, and I have to keep working, right? So that's kind of like how all those three things have changed my life. And to be honest, all of it led to a positivity, because now I really love the person that I'm becoming and the person that I am. I know that sounds odd, and I might have not explained everything down to the best. I'm still learning this. All right, I'm still learning how to get on this camera and kind of sit here and talk to y'all in this fashion. I know I stream. I know y'all see me laughing, cracking it up, smiling, busting a joke. But to get on here and actually talk about things that are impactful in my life is quite difficult. Right? So hopefully this video has helped you. I'm only going to be getting better at these as time goes on. And also remember, you can double tap, you can like it, you can leave a comment. This is what it's for. You guys are going to help me grow, and in turn, I hope to help you grow. All right, until next time, it's been Antonio V. I like that. It's been Antonio V, and I'll catch you guys next time. All right? I love you guys.